Everywhere I go, I simply read. Now I have a great number of books, but there's a few books that stays in my vehicle and I love to constantly refer to. Now, this book is called When the Grid Goes Down. This is a very important book because, as you can see here, it's going to teach you how to sterilize water, how to start a fire. It's got pictures in here and lots of displays so that you could, be able to manage, whether it be a 72-hour food kit, 1 week, 30 days or more. But this is going to help many of you beginning preppers. And I have to use that term because that's what many individuals like to call themselves. I like to use the term preparers because I'm a believer in the good book called the Bible. But here's one of the books that stays with me, and I often refer to it. That way I can lock every word in my memory like I do when it comes to the Bible. Now, right here is a book called Mobile Solar Power Made Easy. Now, Elder Yehuda is not a expert when it comes to solar. I'm not a qualified electrician. Well, let's say this. I'm qualified, but not certified. I learned everything on my own. And William Earl Prowse, the fifth, he's a wonderful young man. I've been knowing him for years on YouTube. I followed him when he was ill, living out of his, tiny vehicle, and then he upsized his vehicle to an RV. I've followed Will for a long time. Trust me, this book has plenty of information. And if for some reason I get confused and have to follow back because I do deal with TBI, traumatic brain injury, it tells you how to hook up your own solar. Whether you are using a small solar array, a large solar array like this, up to 800 watts, is pretty self-explanatory. And I refer to this. So therefore, if I'm going to do any sort of solar array like I have, this is, man, listen to this elder. Elder don't know everything, but I learn everything. Did you hear that? I don't know everything, but I learn everything so that I could become self-sufficient. That's the key, right? And so I'll make sure I put the link down below, but grab William Earl Prowse book. Trust me, he's #1 selling with this book for years on Amazon. So let me put this away. I keep it right there. And we're going to go to the next book. This book stays in my vehicle because I need to know the type of plants, berries, everything out there. Okay? Edible wild plants. And this is a great guide to identify, harvest, and prepare. The Forager Harvest right here. Over 100,000 copies sold. It's a beautiful book. So let's take a look at this book. Look at the back here. You got some wonderful guide features, 200 colorful photos. The world's healthiest food is wild. Trust me, I can't get enough of this book. It's well detailed. Look at all the colorful photos here. You can learn the wild weeds in your own neighborhood right now. But when you're out and about or SHTF happens, and someone asks, what is SHTF? Well, Elder don't like to use profanity, but I'm going to tell you, it's called shit hits the fan. Or when the grid goes down, you got to know how to survive out on the trails, local, state, and county parks, the wild, the forest, wherever you are, you've got to learn how to deal with things, okay? Get this book, folks. You should not be without it. And I keep it in my vehicle because I'm constantly reading it. And when I'm out at the local areas, parks, both national and local, hey, I'm always trying to identify. And I got 3 different apps that are free, or you can get the upscale versions and you can pay for those. And that way I can take snapshots when I find out what the plan is, and I store them on my phone, because once the grid goes down, you won't be able to access these different apps because you need a cellular service. But if you snapshot all of their findings, you'll be just fine. Let's go on to the next book. This book is a must for anybody. And the reason I talk about this book, because if you just have your bug out bag, and of course you should always have a hatchet, you should have the ability to light a fire or start a fire, you are going to probably need some sort of woodsman skills. They call it bushcraft, but back in the days, it was simply woodsman or survivalist, but woodsman was the better name. And so tying knots, being able to tie up a tarp or canopy or something like that, very good illustrations here. Look at this, folks. Absolutely wonderful. Let's kind of glance through here. Tells you about the deer ticks, the different bugs, the spider bites, snakes, all sorts of things that can harm you and stop your progression. Tells you how to skin a fish, game birds, if you folks are eating birds, not me. But look at this. Tells you how to filter water. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. I absolutely love it. Bam. I'm going to put all the links below in this video. And if you folks, trust me, these books don't cost a lot of money. And I don't just pick up any book. I have an arsenal of books, but I don't just pick up any books. Let me go to the other side of my rear driver's seat, and I want to share a few more books with you guys and girls. Now, here's a subscription that I have from a company called OffGrid. And yeah, there they are right there. And these are great subscriptions to have just in case stuff hits the fan. Solar charging kits, rust-proof, Spider CD or Spider Co-Assist. You have the radio workhorse, learn how to work your CBs or your, can't even think right now, your ham radios. Just laying them out here, give you a better view. And here's the off-grid outbreak. What can you do to survive a bioterrorist attack? And you have a lot of different areas in here they're going to cover, okay? And over here you got the dirty bomb, our survivals expert weigh in on preps and myths. This is called Recoil. Get this subscription. I know that they stopped taking subscription for a lot of individuals because the company sold itself to another company, which that company is still around. I'll try and source it and put it below. But folks, these are just additional tools that you could use. Once again, you're talking about artillery, heavy artillery. You're talking about water everywhere. Where can you find it? Here's some exercises if you're preparing physically, you know. Different scenarios you can do, different exercises you can do, all sorts of gear, people. These, look at this, defense. Women and men, even young adults should have this subscription. I have more here, and I'll tell you how long I've had these subscription. I want you folks to look closely here. 2016, okay? 2016. 2016. In some, I have 2015. That's because I've had this subscription for a long time. Folks, I didn't start my quote unquote prepping overnight. I've been doing this a long time before the pandemic, before all these other people think they know what they're doing. Trust me, it's a great subscription to have. And it's good reading. The bottom line, it's really good reading. I love the graphics. I love everything about it because sometimes you got great graphics. You open a book up and there's nothing there. These books are absolutely, look, everywhere you open, there's going to be, artillery. Shows you how to even grow food indoors. This is the one I love. I read through that entire thing. Hydro planting indoors, folks. Okay. But anywho, I'm not going to hold you folks. This is a long video, but I hope you take the time to watch it. It's very important that you do. Okay. It's a matter of survival, life, or possibly death. Until then, shalom.